Bam, 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 bam. We are live. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning and welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for coffee and crypto. Actually, Celsius, energy, and crypto. Do me a favor and smash the like button if you like being here. Subscribe to the channel if you really like being here, and consider becoming a member. And if you're watching this over on X, make sure you like, repost, give me some cash tags to your favorite meme coins. And guys, the market is green, but there is one little caveat to that. Some of the meme coins, the more established meme coins, aren't really doing anything. It's not really meme coin season right now. In fact, it's just every other cryptocurrency season, which this is kind of the nature of the game. The entire market is pumping. We go put those big green bubbles right there. Bitcoin looking very, very strong, sitting at $47,000. A lot of people were predicting that Bitcoin could hit 50K by the weekend, which obviously today's Friday. But some people are predicting the market to pull back. Now, yesterday we read some articles, and the biggest reason for the Bitcoin pump, a lot of people are, assuming, is that the fact that a lot of people are going long on Bitcoin because there is a Chinese New Year's pump. So we'll get into more of that here in a second. We have some articles, literally just astrology for men, some of these articles. But the point is the cryptocurrency market's pumping. So shout out to people out there who've been dollar cost averaging into the big cryptocurrencies. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that, obviously we're a meme coin channel. We love meme coins here. I love small caps meme coins because that's where I think the most explosive amount of money is made. But it's important to take some of those profits and put them into big cryptocurrencies with big market cap sizes, less volatility, slowly dollar cost average over time. Because in my opinion, the safest bet in this space is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of these top cryptocurrencies. So it's good to see Bitcoin looking good, showing some strength in the cryptocurrency market, in all markets really, and things are looking good. Now, yesterday we had a pretty big, you could say, moment in American history where we had, an American reporter. I would say, like, just because of what's going on right now with the whole war in Russia and Ukraine and stuff, where Tucker Carlson interviewed Vladimir Putin. Now, I watched a little highlight of that interview. Maybe we can actually, go on a little longer today and watch a breakdown. Meet Kevin did a good breakdown of what happened in that interview. And then Joe Biden had a State of a Union last night, and it was just bad. Like, that guy is losing it, dude. And maybe we'll watch some more political stuff near the end of the stream because I know you guys like some of that stuff. I'll show you some of the content creators I watch on YouTube that go over the situation pretty good. But man, I mean, it's been crazy. But a happy Friday, guys. I hope you have something fun planned for the weekend. Guys, remember, cryptocurrency is crazy. It's 24/7. Some people are literally on the computer all day, every day. And it's good to get a little bit of a break, okay? It's good to get a little bit of a break. And if you guys want to join an exclusive Discord server, check out HG Access. Links to that is in the description down below. Give you plays on meme coins and access to a bunch of influencers in the space. I've already had quite a few of my members sign up, so keep them coming in. Let's go ahead and say hi to the chat, and then we'll get into the news. Matthew, good morning, sir. Good morning. Edgar, good morning. Good morning. Hope you had a good birthday, brother. Selmo Fudd, good morning. Good morning. Sacco, somebody speak to my manager. I had a phenomenal leg workout this morning. My back hurts a little bit. So literally I go do my leg workout at 9 a.m. It usually ends around like 10:20. I beam it back here and throw the stream together. And so hopefully the news hasn't changed too much, by the time I wake up and look at the news to when I get here. But usually, like, I have like the news already ready to rock, and then some bigger story happens or the market starts to pump or dump and they got to change it all. But very, very good leg workout this morning. Guys, don't forget to take care of your health. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. Steve, good morning, sir. Good morning. Make sure to touch the like buttons like Tucker touched Joe Biden's angry button last night. Absolutely. Obeyed, good morning, sir. How you doing? Oh, what happened? Javi, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Arman, good morning. How you doing? Brad, what's up, Brad? How you doing? Jayhawk, what's up, baby? Yes, I was 1 minute late today. Still... You guys are wild, bro. It's Summers. Good morning. Mr. Meaty Mateo. Good morning, Mr. Meaty. How you doing? Glenn. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, boys. Silly Willy. What's up? Piotr. What's up, baby? XRP, SHIB, and Doge. My worst investments. Even my Bitcoin did 150%. I know. Yeah, XRP's been boring. SHIB's been really boring. Doge hasn't been too bad lately, though. Yes, Biden has some mental issues for sure. Carlos. Good morning. This is it. Good morning, sir. Good morning. And Mo, good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go ahead and look at the overall cryptocurrency market. So obviously, guys, we are in the green today. Everyone's euphoric on X. Everyone's fired up. Let's go. We love it. The overall cryptocurrency market cap is sitting at $1.77 trillion, up 2% on the day. Bitcoin up to 47K, looking very strong, up 4% over the last 24 hours. And Ethereum starting to hit, looking for that 2,500 level. Now, Ethereum hasn't got a lot of love recently, over the last year or so. It's been up, but hasn't got all the love. Obviously, the attention's been on Bitcoin, but Ethereum getting some love back. So I'm hoping some more ERC20 tokens will pump. We're seeing that. But we're not seeing a lot of love on with other meme coins. Solana up and stuff like that. The native coins are all up. You see Avalanche up, BNB up, Polygon up. All the native coins for meme coins are up, but not a lot of meme coins are up. So our top meme coins, overall meme coin market cap is sitting at $20 billion at 3.5% up on the day. And the trading volume has increased in a good way for some meme coins. Number one meme coin is Dogecoin, SHIB, Bonk, Pepe, Floki, Memecoin, Dog with Hat, Baby Dogecoin, Bone Shiba Swap, ERC20, which is a new meme coin. Interesting. Pepe Fork, Cock Inu, Snake, Doge, and Dogeland Mars, and Myro. Myro still taking a hit over the last 24 hours. Still up on the week, but taking a pretty big hit over the last 24 hours. One of the ERC20 tokens that I'm in is Byte. It's pumping today, pretty insane, up 27% of the day. And this is a good sign because there's not a lot of ERC20 tokens I'm in. I'm in like Xeno, Byte, a few other ones, and Byte's doing really well. And one of the kind of signs I look for to see if a meme coin is going to do well is, does it move with the native coin? Obviously, Ethereum up in a big way. And we see that Byte's moving, at a faster pace. And that's usually what happens, right? Ethereum is up, 5%, couple of percent, and then the native coin Ethereum, and then the meme coins pump at a faster rate. So obviously Byte looking good. One of my bigger plays and one of the bigger meme coins I think are going to do well this year. Now, obviously not sponsored or anything like that, but I do think that Byte's going to do very, very well. Okay, this is an interesting article because a lot of people are saying this is the reason why Bitcoin is looking good. So Bitcoin crosses 46K as year of long begins, easing ETF sell-off. Over the next few days, East Asia will celebrate the start of the year of the dragon, which is considered to be one of the luckiest and most prosperous animals in the Chinese zodiac. Now, if this isn't astrology, I don't know what is. Bitcoin has historically seen gains around the Chinese New Year period. Sources of selling pressure from ETF holders and miners have eased in the past week, while Bitcoin prices have increased, suggesting demand. So Bitcoin crossed 46K earlier Friday as the CoinDesk 20 index, a measure of the biggest cryptocurrencies, jumped over 2%. The largest cryptocurrency by market cap reached a one-month high as East Asia ushered in the biggest festival of the year, celebrating the start of what's believed to be one of the luckiest periods as per the Chinese zodiac. In Mandarin Chinese, the word of the dragon is pronounced similarly to long, boosting mimetic value amongst crypto traders. Now, this seems silly, right? But something like this would pump Bitcoin, right? Or cryptocurrency, right? So just because the word sounds like long, you know what I mean? So Bitcoin could rise to as much as 48K in the coming days as the asset historically shows gains around the Chinese New Year period. TEDx Research said in Thursday note, predicting a gain of at least 11%. The asset that has added nearly 50% in the past 2 weeks, data shows, easing losses as the anticipated Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETFs turned out to be a sell the news event. So we knew the ETF was going to be a big buy the rumor, sell the news event. All right. Good morning, C90. How you doing? Good morning, Mo. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it with this article. A lot of people are saying that it rhymes with long. It's going to be lucky because it's the Chinese New Year, so Bitcoin's going to pump. Whatever the case may be, we'll take it, right? We'll take it. So check this out. Bitcoin ETFs have become the most popular ETFs in Wall Street history. Look at this. Look at this. Right? They flooded us. They were against us, and now they're with us, baby. You can't stop Big Daddy Bitcoin, baby. No matter what the media says, no matter what the news cycle says, baby, Bitcoin is here to stay. Okay? People love Bitcoin, and now it's available to the older generation. We love that. So the most popular ETF in Wall Street history. Not bad for a money laundering service. Not bad for something used by criminals, like what the United States government calls Bitcoin, right? Now, I do think there needs some sort of regulation for cryptocurrency exchanges and stable coins, but obviously we don't want to overstep anything, right? As long as those regulations are reasonable, right? Reasonable, just to protect investors, because a lot of the catastrophes we've seen in cryptocurrency have come from stablecoins and centralized exchanges. Okay. So this is pretty interesting. So Bitcoin price passes 46K after S&P 500 reaches historic highs. So obviously all markets are looking pretty good, not just Bitcoin. Now, if you take a step back and look around you, and when you think about credit card debt, all-time high, national debt, all-time high, inflation, it's hard for anyone to buy anything these days. Doesn't really make sense to me, right? It still feels kind of weird. And I think the markets have felt this way ever since the pandemic, right? Because there was a point where everyone was stuck inside and no one was out spending money, but all markets were pumping, obviously because of the stimulus and stuff like that. So very, very interesting, right? So just wanted to read that a little bit. It's nice to see Bitcoin and the S&P correlating, but obviously in a good way. Over the last few years, cryptocurrency has kind of just moved with the rest of the markets. I know at first it was moving hard with tech stocks, and tech stocks took a dump, and then Bitcoin took a dump. But it's good to see them both moving up in a positive way. I love that. So check this out. So this little X post this morning said this. Ethereum maintains bullish momentum at 2,500, eyeing yearly highs of 27K. Traders watch for 2,500 support. So a lot of traders are looking for the $2,500 support, which is right here. So can we trade sideways at the $2,500 level? I'm no TA guy, but I know people love this kind of stuff. So obviously we have some support down here, a lot of support over at the 22K range. We've hung out right here at 2,500 for a little bit, not for long. So hopefully we can stay right here for a little bit and maybe move to the next, the next support level, which could be 2,700 or the last time it reached up there. So hopefully Ethereum pumps, because, I love Ethereum. A lot of people are big bulls on Ethereum. And I do think even though the gas fees are insane, I mean, some people were paying $200 for swaps yesterday. I do think that Ethereum is big daddy and it's here to stay. I don't think Solana is going to flip it or anything like that. I think Solana will do well, but I don't think it's going to flip it and stuff like that. So here are some weekly updates. So shout out to Virtual Bacon, which is really becoming one of my favorite cryptocurrency channels on YouTube. He has a pretty big cryptocurrency channel. I don't know if he just started, but he's killing it, man. He has really good content, very smart. I watch him for a lot of things. A lot of people do these news updates, but I like his a little better. So here are some of the top crypto news stories over the last 24 hours. So BlackRock ranked among the top 5 largest 2024 ETFs in terms of inflows. So remember, the Bitcoin ETFs are the most popular ETFs in Wall Street history. ARC21 shares upgrade spot Ether ETF proposal, adding staking language. Analysts see it as potential milestone for crypto and traditional finance integration. I do think that there's going to be an Ethereum ETF, just like a Bitcoin one, because the SEC hasn't really gone after Bitcoin or Ethereum, just a bunch of other cryptocurrency projects that are similar, which doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. Ethereum's Dencun upgrade completes final test on Holsky testnet, moving closer to mainnet activation, introducing data blobs. Now, this is going to be better for layer 2s. It's going to help layer 2s on Ethereum, and this should be ready to go next month. Wormhole reviews tokenomics for W token, earmarking 17% for community airdrop. Okay, that's not really important. OKX expands into Argentina, offering exchange services and digital wallet. Also introduces OKX P2P for regional users. So Argentina, obviously, Javier Milei has been the talk of the town. And OKX is expanding over there. South Korean exchanges accuse OKX of promoting its Jumpstart program to local without proper registration, potentially facing probe. Definitely South Korea is becoming more and more strict on cryptocurrency because of all the drama that's happening with Do Kwon and stuff like that. Judge approves sealed BlockFi 3AC settlement. Details stay confidential as BlockFi and 3AC resolve dispute over owed millions. So obviously still baggage from the collapse of 2022 of FTX, Three Arrows Capital, Voyager, Celsius, all those sorts of things. South Korea's new crypto law, effective July 19th, could impose life sentences for major crypto crimes with fines up to 5 million times illicit gains. Jesus. So obviously South Korea dropping the hammer a little more. Python Network second airdrop phase distributes. So I don't know much about Python Network, but another airdrop, sweet. Thailand suspends 7% value-added tax on crypto trading gains, aiming to foster digital asset development, effective since January 1st, 2024. So Thailand becoming more and more open to crypto. And I think that Binance just opened in Thailand. So cryptocurrency exchanges expanding. Now, speaking about baggage from the collapses, so NBA sued over marketing links with failed crypto lender Voyager Digital. So obviously NBA is getting sued because I think the Dallas Mavericks owner was big in Voyager. A lot of people were big in FTX and Voyager. Obviously, there was an NBA stadium. I think it was the Miami one named after FTX, right? Steph Curry promoted it. A lot of people promoted these failed cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, I think they'll probably settle, but it'll be hard to sue some of these other people because the truth is no one knows the inner workings of a company like FTX. Like no one knew what Sam Bankman-Fried was doing. No one knew what Voyager Digital was doing. And I know a lot of people said, well, yeah, you should have, done more due diligence and stuff like that. It's tough when you don't know the inner workings of a company. This was a huge kind of debate we had when FTX collapsed. A lot of influencers were getting sued and named in some class action lawsuits. Meet Kevin, BitBoy, and stuff like that because they promoted FTX. But the truth is, like, how do they know? How do they know that Sam Bankman-Fried was doing dumb shit? So Voyager obviously not going to be able to pay everyone back who lost their money in the exchange. I think it was like 20% or something ridiculous. Most unfortunate, but we'll see what happens with this. I doubt they'll settle. So. Bitcoin ETF surge and DeFi growth, crypto's 2024 landscape unveiled. So this article pretty much talks about how, cryptocurrency is expanding this year. And yes, we're probably not going to get a coveted Super Bowl commercial this year, but I think that this time next year, things are going to be different. I think that Bitcoin is going to be at a higher level. I think most cryptocurrency, I think we're going to be, close to a $3 trillion market cap size, maybe a little more. And I do think that the sentiment with cryptocurrency will change. I think that people will start to see cryptocurrency in a positive light going forward. And I think that's important, obviously for mass adoption, stuff like that. So, this is pretty much more bullish cryptocurrency news. I do want to talk about one thing in the shitcoin, meme coin space, Pork and Pepe. So Pork, obviously a meme coin created by Polly. And its goal was to flip Pepe, which it did for a second. But since then, Pork has dumped all the way down to $137 million market cap size. Pepe actually pumped from a $385 million market cap size to now over $400 million. Now, when you look at liquidity, Pepe, across all chains, Pork still kills Pepe when it comes to liquidity. And that's important, right? Liquidity is very, very important when it comes to looking at a cryptocurrency project. Now, does it matter? It only matters. It depends. It only matters if you're trying to sell your entire bag at once and if you hold a large amount of this cryptocurrency. If you have like $1 million worth of Pepe tokens and you want to sell it all at once, you're not going to get $1 million. You have to slowly sell that over time, right? That's why it's always important to take profits, especially if you have a ton of money in a cryptocurrency project. But it's interesting to see how things have changed over the last week. Because obviously the Pork people hate Pepe, the Pepe people hate Pork. It's pretty interesting, but Pepe showing strength, even though the liquidity, is not the same. Obviously, buys in Pepe are going to pump the chart more than buys in Pork, but still, it's interesting to see this flip. So quick. I didn't think that Pork would dump all the way back down here. I thought it would sit maybe 2.5, 2.5 million, $250 million market cap size for a little bit. But it already dumped to 137 and it's still dumping, right? It's still dumping. Hasn't stopped dumping. And it traded sideways here for a little bit too, which looked pretty promising. For a few days up in this area, but just dumped all the way down. Most unfortunate, but it do be like that. So I'm sure there's some excuse that the Pork guys will use. But here's the thing, guys. Like I said, it doesn't matter who's promoting a meme coin or who's talking about a meme coin, guys. These things never pump forever. Right? So take your profits, especially if there's a clear target, like a buy the rumor, sell the news event, like the Bitcoin ETFs. That was a perfect one. Like to a T pretty much. Bitcoin did pump like crazy, but then it pulled back pretty significantly. The goal of Pork was to flip Pepe. And once it did, it dumped. That was your opportunity to sell. And a lot of the whales sold. A lot of the whales took their profits because they're smart. They don't care who's promoting what. They're about making money, which is the way most people should go about it, right? Okay, let's look into some meme coins because there's been a lot of meme coins that haven't been really doing anything, right? Okay, so B Pinky's Solana meme coin that I've been in, it's doing pretty well. I mean, when you look at the day chart, but still down pretty significantly. J5 is another BNB coin that I'm in, and it's still okay. The liquidity to market cap ratio is pretty bad, so any small buy is going to pump it. Only 95 holders. Operation Phoenix, which is the SafeMoon kind of V2, you could say. Well, not really a V2, but the SafeMoon 2.0. That's what they're trying to do what SafeMoon did, but actually do it and not end up in jail. Hopefully they can. I have a pretty decent bag in this one. Byte is an ERC20 token that I've been extremely bullish on. And this chart looks so good. Like when you look at ERC20 tokens, this chart is extremely bullish. So I'm pretty bullish on this project. Decent liquidity to market cap ratio for a meme coin. So hopefully this thing can keep on going up. But if you look at the chart, man, it just looks like just straight up, right? Just straight up. It just keeps forming higher lows, So shout out to Byte. Sync is another protocol that I've been in. It's one of those stake it, set it, and forget it ones. And this thing went to like a $13 million market cap, but obviously dumped all the way down to 3. I still have my Sync staked a little bit. WorldCoin is Sam Altman's. It's not really a meme coin, but I'm treating it as one. Sam Altman's token that's actually been doing pretty well. It's near its launch price-ish. Well, it's down from its launch price, but shortly after launch. So have a nice bag there just because, OpenAI, Sam Altman, things may look good for this project. Obviously, Pepe, MetaMonkey AI is another shitcoin that I'm in with really shitty volume, like $1,000 in volume, but apparently they're working on something. Kimbo is an Avalanche meme coin that I'm in. Chart looking pretty decent. And GME down, another GME. Ponke down a little bit. Shout out to Ponke. We're actually going to be having a live Ponke space Monday with me and Jake, but the price obviously down pretty significantly. Dork lost its steam, but this was a nice little 5x. Dual token, I got into the pre-sale, down quite significantly. Hopefully it pumps some more. The GME on Sol, that was, at like an $80 million market cap. Chart still looks pretty healthy, so hopefully GME can keep pumping. Zeno, I'm in, but Zeno, honestly, Zeno price has not been looking good. I did take some profits on Zeno. So it's it's actually lower than the price I got in. So Zeno not looking too hot. Hopefully you can get some positive momentum, but the chart does not look good. Myra obviously down pretty significantly. I mean, this is what most meme coins look like after a while. And then of course, Pork continuing to absolutely dump. So, and yeah, that's pretty much the news. Let's go to watch that video from last night about Joe Biden because that shit was wild. We're gonna get political now for a little bit, and we'll talk about some stuff too. Yeah, I think Joe Biden's actually absolutely losing it. Check this out.
Last night, old Joe held an emergency primetime address to the nation in front of reporters where he actually answered some of their questions, which interrupted the regularly scheduled programming on the major broadcast networks in order to respond to the special counsel's decision regarding him stealing classified documents and holding them in his garage next to his prized possession, his Corvette. And
first of all, what's up with politicians like taking classified documents home, bro? Trump did it. Hillary did it. Biden did it. Obviously, they're treating him different, right? But what's going on,
And you have to see what transpired.
Like, why would you want to take work home?
To believe it. Well, I guess you can imagine what happened because they allowed him in front of a camera with people asking him questions. But you still have to see it. They decided not to charge him with a crime, unlike what they did to Donald Trump, even though he willfully kept classified information and knowingly transmitted it to others because, well, they basically determined that he's not mentally competent enough to stand trial and that he is an elderly man with a poor memory. In his prepared remarks and his responses to the reporters, he lied and lied and lied again and, of course, made a complete fool of himself.
And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. It was in my house.
That's a complete lie because the special counsel investigations report shows this exhibit as some of the evidence on page 171, which is captioned "Garage Box with Classified Afghanistan Documents as Encountered by the FBI when they searched his residence."
Damn, that boy's garage looks like my garage, boy. It looks like it, Matthew. It looks like it.
Residence on December 21st, 2022. Here's another bold-faced lie that is completely contradictory to the special counsel investigations report.
Not share classified information.
He did not share classified information.
I did not share it. With your ghostwriter? With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
He guarantees it. Well, according to the investigation, quote, at some point after learning of special counsel Hur's appointment, Mr. Biden's ghostwriter, Mark Zwanitzer, deleted digital audio recordings of his conversations with Mr. Biden during the writing of the book, Promise Me Dad. The recordings had significant evidentiary value. So he should be indicted for obstruction of justice and destroying evidence because nobody who writes a book with a famous politician, let alone the president of the United States, is going to delete the recordings of those conversations. Those are going to be some of his prized possessions. But as they noted, he only deleted them after he learned that a special counsel was set up to investigate Joe Biden having that classified material. And here's old Joe before a special counsel was investigating him for having classified material at his residence. The same thing that they want to throw Donald Trump in prison for the rest of his life, even though as president, Donald Trump had the authority to declassify whatever documents he wanted to. And when Joe Biden stole the documents that he kept at his residence, he was a senator and a vice president, didn't have the authority to declassify them.
You saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago. What did you think to yourself looking at that image?
He means the photos that the FBI took after they dumped the documents all over the floor. They were stored neatly in a box.
How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that, I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera.
That's a good question, Joe. How could these classified documents about Afghanistan and other issues end up in your garage here? So Donald Trump has documents that he personally had the authority to declassify when he brought them to his residence at Mar-a-Lago, and that were stored in a secure area away from the general public, while old Joe just keeps them in an open box in his.
First of all, that's a fresh little Vetty. And Bernie, we literally read an article about it. We read an article about Bitcoin pumping with the Chinese New Year because the Chinese word rhymes with long.
Garage, and he doesn't get indicted. And let's not forget that Hillary Clinton also mishandled classified information, a lot of it, and of course wasn't indicted.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received. 8 of those chains contained information that was top secret at the time they were sent. 36 of those chains contained secret information at the time, and 8 contained confidential information at the time.
But hey, nobody's above the law, right, liberal media?
The idea that no person is above the law is a bedrock principle of American justice.
No man is above the law, no matter what the crime.
And I agree with you. No man is above the law, and no person is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one's above the law.
No one is above the law.
No man is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No man is above the law.
He has to be held accountable. He's not above the law.
Obviously, they're all talking about Donald Trump because, as we know, Democrats are above the law. But it was after he got done reading the teleprompter and surprisingly took questions from the press that things got really interesting. And the first to speak up, of course, was Peter Doocy from Fox News. And a lot of people are wondering why the White House would allow old Joe to actually do this. Why would they even hold an emergency primetime address like this, let alone allow him to be asked questions by the media, who you'll see turned on him this time. And the logical answer is that they're trying to throw him under the bus and pave the path for Gavin Newsom to ultimately replace him.
The bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
What the fuck is going on? Could someone tell me what this guy's our president? What the fuck is going on?
That's
your
my
memory has gotten worse, Mr. President.
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president.
Yes, we've seen you almost completely destroy the country, in part by allowing a foreign invasion of millions and millions of people. What was interesting about this press conference is, for the first time, probably ever, it wasn't just Peter Doocy who was asking real questions. In fact, all of the reporters there sounded extremely concerned and upset.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old.
Did you notice that he couldn't even respond to her with clarity? He said, that's not the judgment of the press. He meant to say that's not the judgment of the American people.
It's not the judgment of the press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer to that question?
Because I'm the most qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
And here's the best part. It's a double whammy. He decided to wrap up the press conference because it's obviously long past his bedtime. And then he changed his mind. And then, wait for it.
This is hilarious.
Period. Thank you all very, very much.
What the fuck did you say? What?
The hostage negotiation. Look.
He's so mentally deficient and not in control that he can't even decide whether or not to end a press conference. He ends it, starts walking away, changes his mind, comes back, and then embarrasses himself with perhaps the biggest gaffe that he has ever made.
I'm of the view, as you know, that the conduct of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top.
That's not the part that I was talking about. That'll come up in just a second. But he obviously, well, it's kind of drifting in and out of consciousness and forgot that he is the president for a moment there because he said the unmentionable out loud that Israel is obviously trying to ethnically cleanse, just remove all of the Palestinians from Gaza.
I think that, as you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side.
Gee, Joe, I didn't know that Mexico bordered Israel. Of course, he was thinking about Egypt, and again, this during a primetime address and press conference, which was supposed to show that he is mentally competent enough to remain the president of the United States. Here is how the Associated Press categorized the bizarre event. Biden angrily pushes back at special counsel's report that questioned his memory and handling of docs. And of course, they didn't mention his reference to Mexico in this article at all because, well, they're trying to protect him the best that they can. Others, however, are openly admitting what a disaster that was. And like I said, that may be because they're trying to throw him under the bus in order to replace him with Gavin Newsom at the convention. The Daily Beast, a leftist online waste of cyberspace, admitted the president may have wanted to squash reports questioning his mental acuity, but it appears he's done the exact opposite. Yes, he has. And if you post on Facebook that he is senile, you may get fact-checked and have your post grayed out and dumped down the memory hole, like Brit Hume was after he dared to admit the obvious on Fox News back in 2020 that Joe Biden is obviously senile. And so PolitiFact fact-checked that, and they talked to some geriatric experts, and they declared that this statement was false. Yes, there's nothing unusual happening here at all.
There is some movement, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response from there's been a response from the opposition, but
we've heard enough. And if you enjoy watching my videos, you're really
shout out to Mark Dice. That shows. I got a kick out of that. You know what I mean? I just got a kick out of that. You know what I mean? Joe is on a sick one, dude. He's on a sick one, man. You know, weird. He must have watched the Drake clip. Oh my god, I know, right? There's a break So I didn't think the Putin Carlson interview was like too groundbreaking, but it was interesting. Obviously everyone sees Tucker Carlson as like a traitor and stuff like that. I know Hillary Clinton was having a meltdown about him going over there, you know, talking about you know, that situation where she's like just calling him like a puppy and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, Hillary, chill the fuck out. You know, the media is pretty upset about telling media melts down Tucker Carlson. Pretty upset about it. Hold on.
This is so funny. Tucker has interviewed President Vladimir Putin.
US commentator Tucker Carlson has landed perhaps the most interesting interview a journalist could ever hope for. This week, he sat down with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the Ukraine.
I'm trying to find that video that I watched.
And
everyone's freaking out, like, don't you interview Putin, you traitor. You know, journalism, guy, when did journalism become like a team thing? It's like, we're a team. It's like not getting like the neutral, like truth. It's not interviewing both sides, you know, because sometimes you got to interview your enemy, you know what I mean? But it's more about like, we're right, you're wrong. Any other, it's like, that's not journalism, right? Media is weird, man. I don't understand it. This is why like YouTube, in my opinion, when it comes to like news, obviously YouTubers have their biases. Like I have my bias, like, but I want to hear both sides of the story. You know, like I want to know what their perspective is on any given situation. You know, no pro Russia guy. I don't. You know, if you got the history of Russia, it's bloody. It's crazier than the craziest thing you think that's happened in history. I know a lot of people look at the body count of certain dictators in the world, but like when it comes to like China and Russia, I mean, they have a really, really dirty, bloody past, right? The United States, for the most part, you know, especially like in the 40s and 50s, if you guys don't understand like America during World War II, like you wanted to be captured by the Americans, like that, you wanted to be captured. You did not want to be captured by the Russians, right? But obviously now in today's day and age, it's a little different, right? We have bases all over the world, you know, we're everywhere. Obviously, that's why we're so powerful. We have the best Air Force, the best Navy, best technology, not the biggest army, but the best technology. And we can attack from anywhere, right? United States is we just got it like that, right? But back in the day, man, before the United States expanded so much after World War II, you know, we were seen as like the good guys, and we were the good guys. I watched a video, like it was diaries of like a Nazi soldier, who got captured and stuff, and they would literally flee right to the Western Front where the Allies were, you know, closing in on Berlin, whereas on the, you know, the east side, Russia was closing on Berlin. They did not want to get caught by the Red Army. And they were surprised at how well they were treated by the Americans. Like the Americans caught them, they put them on a, you know, obviously they're POWs, prisoners of wars, but they fed them and stuff like that. Dude, if you got caught by the Red Army, Russians, you're fucked, you know, obviously. You know, what's this guy on about? Russians never enslaved anyone. Are you dumb? I mean, Russia's never. How about the gulags? America was built on slavery, killed millions of innocent people around the world. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, of course. If you're brown, we're bombing you, baby. Of course, I get that. Cat Williams does a pretty funny skit about the Iraqi invasion. He's like, "Have you seen the Iraqi army?" Obviously, he's talking about the one in 2001, not the one in like the 90s, not Desert Storm. He's like, "Have you seen the Iraqi army their uniform? You haven't, because we're over there killing people that are in flip-flops." You know what I mean? Because it's true. You know, the insurgency, right? First of all, slavery is not an American thing. Slavery's been around way before America, okay? Obviously. So slavery is not specific to the United States. You know, slavery has always been a thing throughout time. Obviously, we have our own past with slavery and Africans and stuff like that. Duh. But if you think that, you know, Russians and Chinese don't enslave people, you're out of your damn mind. I mean, Stalin has more bodies than Hitler times 10. So, yeah, exactly. Piotr says, "I'm Polish, but trust me, Russians are, they're bad people." You know, Carrot AK wearing flip. I'm telling you, right? Blowing things up with like coffee containers. You know what I mean? So y'all crazy as hell. America has a pretty, you know, a terrible past, obviously. But to say like, oh, slavery specific to America, it's like, that's stupid. There's always been slaves. There's been slave. It's just that, you know, it's our history, right? American history is obviously, you know, the Civil War was about slavery. I know people said it was about other things, but it's mostly about slavery. Right? Civil War was mostly about slavery. But yeah, I mean, just do some history, man. Look at your history a little bit. I mean, the Japanese were brutal in World War II. Brutal. You know? I do have ammo. Yeah, I have a ton of ammo. Yeah. Yeah, one of my oldest friends is Latvian. I'm telling you, bro, there are slaves everywhere. I'm not saying our slavery is okay. Obviously, it's not, dummies. But what I'm saying is it's not like a thing that's specific to the United States. It's not like we're the only ones who had slaves. America could have taken over Glenn, that is one of the most important things that came out of World War II. The United States could literally taken over any country with nuclear bombs. We could have taken over Russia. We could have taken over China. We could have literally, and usually countries that are most, like throughout the history of time, the superpowers are imperialistic, right? When you win a war, they take over the whole country. But the United States didn't do that. Yes, we occupied Japan, right? That was part of their surrender and some other places. But we didn't really take over the world like we could have. We could have. Yeah, we were the only ones with nukes for a while. Then obviously Russians got them and stuff like that. Cold War, you know, Vietnam, Korean War, and those sorts of things. I'm telling you. Yeah, we could have. We literally could have. But they didn't. They chose to rebuild countries they beat. Absolutely. Right. And then we saw the benefits of capitalism versus communism. It took some time, right? Because there was a while where, you know, like North Korea was more prosperous than South Korea. But look at where South Korea is at today compared to North Korea, right? There was a time where, you know, when Germany was split up, you know, things were different. But now, obviously, throughout time, capitalism isn't perfect, but it's the best system. No system doesn't have its problems. The best system that works. The best. You know, can't be perfect. AVAX, yeah, Avalanche. I know we're getting back to crypto here. Avalanche is looking very, very good. Yeah, dude, all altcoins are looking good. Crypto's just looking good. So, but obviously, since Vietnam, and I mean, since Vietnam, like, obviously Vietnam, the real reason for Vietnam was to stop the spread of communism, right? The influence of communism. It didn't work, right? We wanted to do something like we did in South Korea or in Korea, where we could split it in half kind of deal. It didn't work, right? And then since then, except for Desert Storm, right? A lot of the wars have just been about the war machine, money, oil, right? Which, I think the reason why we have it so good here in the United States is because of what we do outside of the United States. Except for the Civil War and Pearl Harbor, we've never really had a war affect us here on the mainland. We just haven't. We haven't had to experience what Europe had to experience, or Japan had to experience, and other countries had to experience. Russia. We never had to experience that. We've been pretty. It's tough to invade the United States. Like, I was watching something about how could another country take over? It's almost impossible to invade the United States. You have to do it through Canada, which they're our ally, which not going to happen. Mexico, not going to happen. The East Coast or the West Coast, which are heavily fortified. And if you think about it from a logistics standpoint, if it's Russia or China, how are you going to get all the supplies to the East and West Coast? Like, it's almost impossible. And say, for example, they were able to, successfully have a land invasion after they would beat our Navy, which best Navy, and our Air Force. Everybody has guns here in the United States. Like, how much you think it's bad? The reason why Iraq, it was so hard to, and same thing with Vietnam, is because insurgency, you're guerrilla warfare. Like, in the daytime, you're a citizen, but at nighttime, you're a fighter. Everyone has guns here. You know how hard it would be, to, first of all, United States there's terrain, it's super terrainy and stuff like that. Like, it's hard to navigate the United States. Obviously, there's so many different terrains and elements and stuff like that. And everyone has guns, like, we can fight back. You've already messed up assuming. I mean, I'm being logical about it. How would you invade the United States if you're an army? How would you do it? You'd have to do it through Mexico, which we would know you're coming. And then you'd have to be cool with Mexico and all the other countries down there, which we're allies with. And then you have to be, obviously, if you're doing a ground invasion, if you're Russia or China, you have to logistically get your supplies and troops here. How? Without meeting the force of our Navy, without meeting the force of our Air Force. How would you do that? Because it's not about, we're not connected geographically. You can't just walk here, right? With tanks and stuff like that. You got to get here with boats and stuff like that. It's a pain in the ass. We're already here. Same thing with Canada. Obviously, Alaska's closer and stuff like that, but still. How? You west flank from Russia? Yeah, but what are they going to do? Just drop landing crafts on the West Coast, the most heavily fortified? No. You're just not going to be able to do that. The resource, and we're here, everything is going to be easy for us to move resources since it's the United States, Think about it. They all military age men. It's happening now. How many 6 millions over the border? Well, that's the thing, Stokes. That's the thing, is that, all this asylum we're giving to people from other countries just so the Democrats can stay in power because they want people to vote for them. We're kicking Americans out of their schools and shit to let immigrants stay here for free. Yeah, that's the argument, Yeah, and Russia has garbage equipment. I think what the Russia and Ukraine war has showed us is that when push comes to shove, we're still number one. We're still number one. It's not even close. And then remember, everyone has guns here. Like, isn't there like more guns than like people in the United States? Like, everyone has guns. I have like 3 guns. Like, everyone has guns. So now you have to fight the militia, which is no easy task. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And yeah, they could shut down our communications, but what about us shutting down their communications? You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, Stokes, there's KG. They have spies here, but we have spies there too. Right. Did you say Russia has garbage equipment? Is the USA the only country doing stuff? Well, so what we got out of the Russia-Ukraine war is that a lot of the equipment wasn't battle ready. There's a lot of corruption. So you have like military leaders selling parts and stuff like that and enriching themselves. And they're just not up to par with some of our equipment, like our tanks, obviously aircraft and stuff like that. Yeah. Plus we have the Avengers, dude. We have the Incredible Hulk, Captain America. I see you in your, yeah, I know. I need to get a haircut. I know. So I didn't get a haircut because I had a huge zit right here and I couldn't get a lineup. The U.S. can mass mobilize better than any other country. Russia is dependent on exactly. Because think about it, we have bases everywhere, right? On everybody's border, you know. Obviously, that distributes your resources out wider, but we can mobilize from anywhere. You know. Can you imagine, like how, like especially like in southern states and more rural areas, how hard it would be to control all the American citizens who are like, there's a lot of people who are really, really well trained, better than any soldier with guns. There are some people that are hobbyists who love guns, who grew up with guns, and they know how to shoot. They know how to survive. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, I know we think of like inner cities and stuff like that where the most of the population is, but there's a lot of Americans out there. You know, it's silly to dismiss the enemy just saying, I'm not dismissing the enemy. I know what they're capable of, but I'm just saying that logically, I'm not saying anything that's not, you know, logical. It's a tall task for any current army to invade the United States. It's just tough. Logically, it doesn't make sense for them to do something successfully. And if you look at like the jets we have, the Air Force, it's just like we're just better pilots, you know. Americans are all immigrants. Who about you can? Yeah, and that's an argument that Americans are all immigrants. Yeah, at one point. Yeah, at one point we were, but now we're not. You know, we're Americans now, so there should be a vetting process. I mean, you know, I was watching a commentary speak about this. Some commentator, I don't know, he's talking about this, and people were like, "We're welcoming, just let everybody into our country." Meh, meh, meh. It's like, no, dummy. That's why you have a door on your house. You may be the most welcoming family in the world, but you have doors on your house, so there's a checkpoint, so you can just see if the vibe check is cool. If the person coming into your house isn't fucking insane, you know. Yeah. Yeah, and Space Force, dude. What the fuck, dude? We got Space Force, bro. A country has to take care of itself. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's why people want. We want to be American first, right? We want to make sure we help Americans first. I get it, guys. I get it that we want to help everybody in need, but we have people here in need. We're sending billions of dollars overseas to fight wars when our infrastructure is shitty. You've seen LA and some cities. They need some help, you know? Yeah, we have Star Trek, baby. Likely no ground invasion in the United States until AI and robotics are more advanced. Absolutely, yeah. I'm a Texan before American. That's what I'm saying, you know. Canada and US need to clean up all these ungrateful refugees. Stargate. We have the Power Rangers too, bro. Come on. Power Rangers, the fucking, you know, Power Rangers. We got you know, we got the Avengers. We need to get back off other countries and take care of our own citizens. Yeah, but it's a strategic thing too. But yeah, we do need it. People need help here. There's no reason why you tell Americans, hey, your kids need to stay home from school. Why? Oh, because we're using the school to house undocumented immigrants. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. We got the Rock. We got the people's elbow, baby. The fuck you mean? Team America. I feel like letting people in America stops people from fixing their own countries. Yeah. Did you get your Solana phone? Absolutely not, bro. Can you imagine having the Solana phone and Solana's down? Nah, I'm not interested in that. But they do give you airdrops, right? Or it comes preloaded with some cryptos. We don't need these vermin in here wasting our resources. I wouldn't say they're vermin, bro, because like I grew up in Southern California where there's a lot of Mexicans, and there is a lot of undocumented. Like for example, one of my best friend's moms was an undocumented immigrant. But what did she do? She gained her citizenship. It took her 10 years, right? She was going to get deported, but she gained it. It took her 10 years, but she was here illegally. Paid rent, worked a job at Chase, moved up the corporate ladder, still works there to this day, makes good money, always pays her taxes, property tax on her home, put her kids through school. Like, not all people moving here are pieces of shit. They're just not. They're just not. There are some people that come here for a better life, to be productive members of society. And then there are not people. That's why, that's why you have checks and balances. You don't let anybody in, because some people are chill. Some people are not. How ironic, you kick out the original people of the lands of Indians. I take your hike and tell you to come in, mate. It's mine now. Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, though, some Native Americans, some of them sold like states for like a piece of bread and a high five. I mean, that's true. Like, they made some pretty bad deals, and then, yeah, obviously the creation of any country is blood. I mean, if you think about, if you know what they called it, manifest destiny, right? If you look at what the early Americans did to the Native Americans, it's brutal slaughter, right? Slaughter, of course. That was the formation of the United States, but it's not then. It's not. That's how our country is built. I know, but that's not how it is now. But yeah, I mean, didn't they sell like states for like $20 or some crazy shit? Obviously, $20 is more back then, but Hey, bro, I'll give you this stick for Iowa. Deal. I'm just being funny, okay? Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. To be honest, maybe we need some invade our country. Maybe that could unify us for once. Well, that would, yeah. I think like a major world war would unify Americans. Like if it was a just war, like if China was trying to take over the world, or it's just no one believes our government anymore. Everyone thinks our government's just being, just trying to make money for politicians. The war machine, Unfortunately. I don't think that American can agree anything, not even the sky is blue. That's true, yeah. Yep, native tribes beat up other native tribes way back. Oh, yeah, they all fought with each other. Yeah, they all fought with each other. We just came here with like guns and shit. We were like, all right, peace. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. It's terrible, guy. I get it, guys. I know. Mexico, that whole war, 3 cents an acre. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. We have a pretty troubled past, but every formation of every country has a pretty troubled past, right? There's a bunch of people slaughtered for no reason and stuff like that. And, we off the rails today. I know, yeah, we are off the rails. I mean, people stay to listen to this, people like to talk about this kind of stuff. It's because, you know what? The tide's turning, bro. The tide is turning, bro. People are tired of the cancel culture stuff, People are just tired. People are tired of it, dude. They're tired of it. And it's good. It's good. It's become less about equality and more about dominating other people. Yeah, it's almost stream time here soon. There isn't one nation that was built by the peace of... Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, exactly. Not one nation. Man, the Romans were bad. Chinese were bad. Japanese were bad. Russians were bad. Germany. Germany wilding over there. Americans, United States. Americans don't care, bro. Americans are at the mall waiting for the Super Bowl. I'm waiting for the Super Bowl. Go Niners, baby. I'm a Chiefs hater. I hope the Niners win. We have discussions, not arguments, and that's the problem. Yeah, exactly. Well, because I grew up like super, like I went to Bernie Sanders rallies, okay? So you know where I'm coming from. I grew up like really, because where I'm from, like everybody's poor and shit and like a minority. I mean, if you live where I'm at, you're not a minority, but in the grand scheme of things, you're a minority. Black, Mexican, Asian. And like, I grew up with that like mentality. But then as I got older and like started like, providing for myself, I kind of realized that no one cares about your problems. They pretend to care, though. The politicians pretend to care, but they don't really care about your problems because it's a big group of elites, Obamas, Bidens, politicians. They want your votes. They want your support, but they don't actually care about you because it's about self-preservation of power, taking care of their family. And one side resonated with me a little more. One side said, hey, blame everybody else in the world for your problems. It's not your fault. It's everybody else's fault. And one side said, take personal accountability for your life and you can have anything you want. And that side resonated with me more. I'm not a victim because I'm black. Yes, if you look at like generational wealth, my family is poor. I mean, if you're a fucking slave, you're poor, right? My white family's like trailer trash. I don't come from generational wealth. So life is going to be harder for me to succeed because I don't come from supportive families who have money, who can help me throughout life. My girlfriend, on the other hand, right, who she's grateful, very humble, comes from very wealthy family line. Never really had to worry about college tuition, never had to really stress for money, right? Still works her ass off every day, hard worker, but it's different, right? But like the point is not to be mad at that because that's always going to be a thing. The point is to break the cycle. The cycle. How do you break the cycle? Well, you stop becoming a victim, you take a personal accountability for your life, and you say, hey, well, I'm going to break the cycle because I know our government's shitty to some of our people, but I'm not going to blame them. I'm going to use our resources to be better so that my kids don't have to worry about the things I worried about. And then that's how you break the cycle, right? So that's what I'm saying. Just break the cycle. Life isn't fair, man. Everyone is born with different cards. Everyone is dealt a different hand. It's fucking poker. What are you going to do? Sit there and be like, I don't want to play. Are you going to fucking play? Got to play. Just saying. All right, little weirdos, I'm out of here. I'll be going live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Memecoin Chill and Chill over on X. Come hang out. It's a good time. I'll be there with Jake G. And I'll see you guys. Shut up, Rob. I'll see you guys in the next one. Exactly. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace.